Guys, in this video, I want to talk about something really important, that is the system that you need to use in order to be able to decide what a feature to build or not. I won't give you a system for your specific software or for your specific application. I will give you the strategy, and then it's your own job to put the work and apply this into your own application. But it's very simple, because every application that grows, every application that becomes successful uses the same system and is learning from people or from the users that are inside the app. If you are watching me for the first time, my name is Justo. I'm in a process of creating 12 apps. I recently finished the 5th app, and now I'm building the 6th one. I created a system that let me design, develop, and test applications in less than 3 weeks, so I can know if it's worth building or not. So if you're building a software as a service or trying to turn a service into a product, there's a question that almost everyone asks at some point, okay? What feature do you want? It sounds reasonable, but in practice, it's a trap. And if you already asked and you feel more confused after, it's not an accident. That this question doesn't work. You won't ever know which feature you need to build based only on the things that the users are saying, okay? It's your own job. You have to put the work and translate what the user is saying into a feature, and that's what I want to explain you. So when you ask them about features, they answer from guesses, comparisons, things they saw somewhere else, things that sound useful, not from priorities. That's why you end up with long lists, conflicting answers, a roadmap that keeps you growing but doesn't take you where you want to be. And at some point, you realize, I'm listening, but I still don't know what to build. And that's the signal that the question is completely wrong. The shift that changes everything is the shift that I'm going to explain, okay? Users don't clearly tell you what matters. They show you, not with words, but with behavior. What they repeat, what they avoid, and what they do manually. That's where the truth is, okay? So instead of asking them, build what they are trying to avoid, because requests are surface level. Friction is the real problem, okay? And something very important that I says on the growth book, okay, the hacking growth book, is that most of the time, instead of needing to add features, you need to remove features, okay? You need to remove noise and take the user from point A to point B. So I don't start with surveys, I don't start with feature requests. I look at 3 things mainly when I'm building an app. First of all, what people do over and over again, okay? This is simple. If users repeat the same action every day in every session across many accounts, that's not a habit, that's friction. And examples that you have probably seen are copying and pasting data, exporting something just to change it, checking the same status again and again. So here is the key point. If something repeats, the system is making people work, and that work creates fatigue. What most people do wrong here is that they think they need to add a feature, okay? But the very question is, what step can we remove? What decision can we automate? And what can be obvious instead of manual? I believe on the last couple of years, the distractions have increased a lot. So instead of focusing what to add, you need to focus on what to remove, okay? That's more important, because you need to remove all kinds of friction in the app to make the user's life as easy as possible. By the way, I will continue with step 2 in a minute, but I want to remind you that if you want me to help you one-on-one building an app, you can book a call. I will leave you the links on the comment section. I will review your idea end to end, and I will tell you if it's worth building. And if you're liking this video, it would also help me a lot if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the like button, because in that way YouTube keeps pushing the content and we keep reaching new people. Now, coming back to where we were, the step 2 is what users avoid, okay? This is even more interesting. People avoid things when they don't trust them. They are afraid of messing something up, the effort feels too high, or the value isn't immediate. And just to give you an example, when your onboarding flow is too long and it has 1000 steps, to reach the aha moment, it's very difficult to convert users in that way. You don't need to explain everything. You just need to let the user get the core value of the app. Because if something is really important, the user will click there, and you can add a small box or something that explains to the user how to use that specific feature. But if you put all the information at once, you will overwhelm the user and the user will leave. So signals like these are features that exist but no one uses, steps people always postpone, flows people skip, as I was telling you. I mean, very long onboarding flows, and most of them say we need better onboarding. Most of the time, that's not true. I mean, if users avoid something, it's usually because the product is asking too much at that moment. If you pay attention to how the products have changed, you will see that a couple of years ago, maybe any kind of app would request you to create an account before using the product. Nowadays, almost every single app gives you value before asking to subscribe to the app or to register in the app or to pay anything. And that's because you need to add value as fast as possible before asking anything to the user. So before adding, anything new, try changing the order, delaying the decision, making it optional, or automating the obvious choice. As I was telling you, growth comes from removing friction, not adding features. And step 3 is the strongest signal you will ever get. If users use Excel, Notion, Google Docs, or WhatsApp, or they build their own workarounds, that is not resistance, that's commitment. Because people don't do manual work unless they care. Unless they really want to get the results. So when you see these, don't think we need to replace Excel. That's the wrong conclusion. Excel is just the tool they use to get control. The real questions are, what are they trying to see clearly? What are they afraid of losing? What decision are they protecting? What can't they delegate? The right feature doesn't copy Excel. It removes the need for it. So when I'm building an app, the questions that I usually ask to the user looks like, I don't know, what did you do right before closing the app? What did you do after? Where did you lose the most time today? What did you have to handle outside the product? Or what part felt annoying? These questions give you facts. Facts are much easier to work. Much easier to work with than opinions, okay? Because opinions can be subjective. At the end of the day, behavior is the only thing that matters. If you think about how the apps are built, every product has a simple loop, okay? User enters, user takes action, user gets value, and user decides whether to come back. When someone asks for a feature, I ask myself, if this reduces time to value, if it removes confusion in the app, if it prevents mistakes, and if it makes the loop stronger, okay? Because if it doesn't affect the loop, it's probably not important right now. You don't need to pay attention to every single opinion. You need to pay attention to the patterns, the things that repeat themselves. If you have 1,000 users telling you the same thing, okay, then they are probably right. But if you have 1,000 users and only one is complaining for something very specific, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to build that feature. And the thing with features is that most of them don't improve activation, don't improve retention, and don't improve learning. They just make the product feel bigger. But bigger doesn't mean better. Progress in a product usually looks like fewer steps, fewer decisions, and less thinking for the user. So here's the translation I use to turn behavior into decisions, okay? If I see repetition, then I understand it as automate or remove. If I see avoidance, I understand by that I need to simplify something or delay something. If I see manual work, then I need to productize that exact step. If I see repeated questions, feedback is in the wrong place. If they are using Excel, then something is missing, okay? And this doesn't need to be that straightforward, but it's very helpful. I don't build things because users ask, competitors have it, or it just sounds good, okay? I build when it reduces friction, speeds learning, and protects the user from bad decisions. So when someone comes to me, okay, and say something like, we have too many ideas, users are asking for everything, we don't know what to build next, we don't start with a roadmap. We start with real usage, real friction, and real workarounds. Once you see that clearly, the decision is usually obvious. Guys, I really hope this video helped you. If this helped you, you would also help me a lot if you subscribe to the channel and you hit the like button, because in that way we can keep growing the channel and this amazing community keeps growing. Once again, if you want me to help you one-on-one, you can book a call on the comment section, and that's it. I hope to see you on the next video.